What's up, guys? Chris Saglansky here with Saglansky Cycle, and I have an oldie but goodie for you here. This is my personal bike, and honestly one of my favorite bikes that Specialized has ever made. This is the 2018 Specialized TARMAC SL6. The colorway is a white frame, gloss white with the rocket red throughout the frame, some cuts in it, and some matte black cuts throughout the frame as well, and this S-Works logo in a matte black. Absolutely beautiful bike. This bike I have equipped with the Shimano DuraAce 9100 rim brake option. On this bike I have the Specialized S-Works Tarmac 40 centimeter bar with the S-Works Specialized SL stem, which is 130 millimeters with a negative 12-degree drop. Got the K-edge mount, garment mount on there, and I have the top cap, which is the fit body geometry cap. Specialized gave these out back in the day to all their professional riders after they got a professional fit from Specialized in Morgan Hill, California. So I have a few of those. I keep them on my old bikes, and I just love the way they look. Coming back to the rear saddle of the bike, I have the Specialized S-Works power saddle, carbon shell, carbon rails, and seat post is the SL6 negative 20-degree offset. I know most people nowadays, the industry's changing completely. I see a lot of guys riding a 0-degree offset seat post and their saddle pushed a lot forward, which I understand why, because if you look at a lot of TT guys who ride time trial bikes, it makes you way over the pedals, so your power transfer is better. Also, if you notice on my bike, I have the hoods tilted slightly in. So back when I first got into the cycling industry around 2015, every time we would assemble a bike or they'd come from the factory, the hoods are always parallel to the drops, right? They were never tilted in. When gravel got very popular, we saw people starting to turn their hoods more in, and it just ergonomically, it's way more easier on the wrist and just feels a lot better. This bike on the wheel set, I have the Roval CLX 50 carbon wheels with the Pirelli PZero Race Edition tires. These tires are running a 700 by 30, which for this bike of its era was really impressive, because back in the day with Specialized, I think the widest tire you'd be able to get on some of the bikes was a 26. I know 21C tires were really popular when I started riding, and then it seems like everyone's going wider. It went from a 21 to 23, 24, and then I was running 26 for a few years. Now all the guys are running bigger than 28. We're seeing a lot of guys running 28C, 30C tires with lower tire pressure. This bike, it's got the 700 by 30s, and I believe I'm running like an 85-90 PSI on the tire pressure. On the thinner tires, I would always run around like 100 or 120, depending on what tire I was using and what type style of ride I was doing. For crankset here, I have the Specialized S-Works non-power meter edition crank arms. They're 172.5. Ceramic speed bottom bracket, which is the BB30, and this chain ring is nothing special. I think it's just a 52-36. On a lot of my other bikes, I do run a 1x setup. I opt for the 54 or 56 1x, because down here in Florida it's super flat. We don't have a ton of hills, and aero is everything. Going back to the rear cassette and derailleur, it's just a same thing, Shimano DuraAce 9100 with, I believe that is a 1128 rear cassette. I'll probably be swapping this out for something a little more compact. It's not my primary bike. I don't ride it the most, but that's the bike that's the chain set and the rear cassette I'm using on that guy. Brakes on this thing are the Shimano DuraAce direct mount front and rear brakes, and the Specialized S-Works rib cage to bottle cage. I think on weight on this thing, it comes around mid 13 pounds. I haven't weighed it in a while, but it's an absolute stud bike. I love it. And there we have it, guys. We'll see you next time.